Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel. We are glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Today, we're going to look at the idea of the concept of asking questions and the taboo that has become. The Economist apologizes for tweet asking whether transgender people should be sterilized. We were wrong to use the first line of this article out of context. Sorry, magazine says. The article starts out saying, in the wrap, The Economist deleted and apologized a tweet, which the magazine appeared to suggest that transgender people should be sterilized. No, it really didn't. It just simply asked a question. We deleted an earlier tweet, which mischaracterized our article on transgender rights in Japan. Here is that article, which remains unchanged, the British magazine said in a tweet Tuesday evening. So when you ask a question in the modern world, that seems to put a target on your back. Instead of answering the question, no matter how ludicrous, instead of answering the question, people are aghast and they go to the army of Twitter and they become the zombie bots and they do the pile-on and they say, oh look, we're a Twitter mob. Aren't we using our brain? No. Mobs never use brains. That's kind of the definition of a mob, is there is no brain. There's just a focal point and then craziness following behind it. The left, and I guess maybe some on the right, went crazy with the idea that there was just a question asked. This is not good, folks. People who fear questions do not deserve free speech. If people can't ask questions, then mental growth stops there. Let people ask their questions and then provide the answer. Say, for example, in this case, should transgender people be sterilized? Answer it. If you think the answer is no, then just say no. Don't attack them for asking the question. Removing the ability to ask a question, what is the point of the scientific method? The first thing you have in the scientific method is ask a question. Oh, no. Everybody screams, oh, no, we're for science. The other side is against science. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody who says you can't ask questions just rejected the first step of the scientific method. All bets are off. You're no longer for science. If you have children and you want them to grow and to become smarter, you better be okay with them asking questions. If you want adults to grow and be a better part of society, you better be okay with them asking questions. The only people that fear questions are the people that don't have an appropriate answer for them. Sometimes the answer is as simple as no. Sometimes the answer is more complex and you have to get it. Like, I'll give you a great example. What was the cause of the Civil War? Okay, that's a really complicated question because it's complicated. And anybody knows about Civil War goes, oh yeah, they're nodding their head. Like, yeah, that one's tricky. Why did the revolution in America take place? Oh, taxation without representation. And then you can move on. Whereas in the Civil War, it's like, oh, it was against slavery. Yeah, not really, not at the beginning. No, it's a very complicated question. But we're allowed to ask the question. Society is dying right now because people are being shut down for asking questions. Look, I do these videos for two reasons. One, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, he's on everybody's case. It's like, look, if you got something to say, get on there and do it, no matter what means you have. And if you've watched my videos from the beginning until now, you will recognize, wow, I really have. I'm working on developing the means. And the other reason is Tim Pool. Tim Pool is though we've never met and we've never spoke or anything, he's my mentor in doing this. And even Tim Pool, and that's how I came to this story. I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to use his headline for my headline. Tim Pool did a story on this morning, and he tore it to shreds. He tore it to shreds, the idea of simply asking the question. His closing thought is, oh, spoiler alert, his closing thought was, wow, think before you speak. Okay, I'm pro think before you speak. Especially on Twitter. He claims himself a huge supporter of free speech. But then he says, think before you speak, and they should have never asked the question. Guys, you've got to be allowed to ask questions. You have to. We are now in a situation where questions being asked leads to this, where even Tim Pool, a huge proponent of free speech, and I mean huge, even he came out against it. You can't grow mentally if you're not allowed to ask questions. It's the first step of the scientific method. Do you have a question? Do the research. What's your hypothesis? What's the experiment? Do the analysis. Then you do the conclusion where you publish it. None of that's going to happen if you can't ask a question. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this one more time and then I'm going to close this. We're not being encouraged to ask questions anymore. We're being shut down for asking questions. We're being chased by the mob for asking questions. Even my mentor, my hero, Tim Pool, and he's a hero for the way he does his videos and the way he is so in support of free speech. But he's not in support of free speech on this occasion. Think about it. Do you want the scientific method? Do you want to use science? Do you want people to be allowed to use their brains? Then for Pete's sakes, let them ask questions. Then come up with a reasonable answer. And if the reasonable answer is, no, that's really kind of stupid, then that's the answer. But answer it. Don't shut them down. Now, I know as a parent that we've all had to deal with, okay, now you're just asking questions to drive me crazy. Stop with that. But that really was the answer, wasn't it? You're asking me this question to drive me crazy. That was the answer. You did give an answer. You did say, stop asking questions because I don't want to fill your brain with more information to help you grow. No, it was stop asking questions because your question isn't, what are you doing? Your question is, can I drive you crazy today? Mission accomplished. You can stop now. And the same thing applies to adults. If adults are asking inane questions, you do the same thing. You go, you're not really asking this question to get an answer to that question, are you? Think about it. Thanks for watching. If you think this is important, that we should allow questions to be asked without a mob attacking them, share this video. It's important. Don't shut down free speech and don't shut down the ability for people to grow. It's the first step of the scientific method, people. If you want to think scientifically, you want to live in a society that's built upon reason and rationale, then you're going to have to allow questions back into society. And I did say allow back into, because right now, people are being shut down in all directions for it.